Presentational communications final. Black room, rats scattering, no windows. This is what prison inmates experience in solitary confinement. In modern-day TV, many of the shows are based on the lives of inmates in jail, and some show the lives of inmates who spend their time in solitary confinement. I've always had the feeling that the stance of the United States criminal justice system when it comes to isolation is wrong. I know that people are sent to prison for doing something wrong, and then they are sent to isolation for doing something wrong while on the inside. However, just because someone does something wrong, even if it means killing another man, does not mean that they should be sent to isolation. I believe that inmates just become more angry and more harder to deal with. People who are in isolation could better spend their time on something productive, where they can give themselves the opportunity at a crime-free rehabilitation. When in prison, inmates should spend their time on understanding why what they did is wrong. I also feel that letting them sit in the yard to exercise is not the right solution, because I feel that they are just making themselves more physically fit and less psychologically weak. So once they do return to the outside world, they are much stronger and now more apt to rage breakouts. One man is quoted saying that, quote, "The results I saw in prison were close to 90%. That's 9 out of every 10 inmates reaching their goal of building muscle, and usually in very short order. It was not uncommon to see someone gain 20, 30, or even 40 pounds of rock-solid muscle." Once an inmate is in prison, this time needs to be focused on helping them, not alone in a 5x5 room where they have no social communication, or even light shining in for that matter. In a sense, I think that putting an inmate in an environment where they are alone for a long time, the legal system is doing to them what has been happening to them their entire lives. When prisoners are released earlier than they should, it is likely that they will end up back where they started, behind bars. Times Online published an article stating that the number of prisoners released after serving short sentences for burglary and theft, who are then being recalled to jail, has almost quadrupled in 4 years. This is an alerting statistic which proves that we need to work harder at rehabilitating these inmates correctly. An international consensus statement on solitary confinement notes that, quote, "It harms prisoners who are not previously mentally ill and tends to worsen the mental health of those who are, and it also questions and it breaches the United Nations human rights laws." In conclusion, I think that the process by which inmates are sent to small rooms where they have to spend their time alone to ponder on why what they did is wrong, like solitary confinement, is a horrible practice and gets an inmate nowhere. Also, the time spent in solitary confinement should be spent doing something productive, like productive activities to help them prepare for the outside world, so they can obtain and keep a job. In retrospect, the practice of solitary confinement is a terrible thing in this country for many reasons, and it also leads to worsened behavior in the long run. Thank you.